What about the opposite sex confuses you the most? After living with a woman, where does all that hair come from and why are you not bald? How guys say they spent their entire high school secondary school life hiding a boner yet not once did I notice a single guy doing so. Kudos lads. You succeeded. Girls, when you turn around and see a guy make eye contact, do you instantly think he's checking you? I'm asking because everyone has an awkward moment when they phase out and realize they are staring at someone. My wife sold some decorative sticks for $40 today. Why would someone pay that for sticks? How much did she pay originally for the sticks? Why is anyone buying sticks at all? What is a decorative towel? If you don't want me to dry my hands with them, don't hang 6 decorative towels in the kitchen and hide all the real towels under the sink. I was just in the elevator this afternoon with 2 male co-workers. No one said anything for the time we were waiting for the elevator and they both walked into the lobby separately. Halfway through the ride down the following convo took place. Dude 1. What size do you wear? Dude 2. 11. Dude 1. So you wear your socks a little loose then? Dude 2. The only way to do it. I have so many questions. What does the only way to do it mean? Do men prefer loose socks? Are loose socks somehow preferable? Do men's socks come in multiple sizes? How did Dude 2 know what size Dude 1 was asking for? Is this a secret code? Perhaps? There are several things about men that confuse me. But right now this is the most pressing one. Lol, that honestly just sounds like a weird inside joke between them. I've never heard anything even remotely like that conversation. Where do you want to eat? Wherever Mexican. How do men ride bikes without injuring their balls? As a woman, a bicycle seat is very uncomfortable. But I can't imagine what it would be like if I had testicles. Don't use them as cushions. Why does my girlfriend get really mad when I'm trying to only make her a little bit mad? Edit. I just posted this trying to make a stupid off-color joke. I'm impressed by the discussions on this though. About my husband who I loved with all my heart. The other day he made us breakfast. Scrambled eggs and asparagus. Was lovely and healthy and delicious. I went to the fridge later in the day to make us lunch and there was one lonely asparagus left on the fridge shelf like an offering to the I'm fridge asparagus gods. Why husband? Why do you test me so? Why women's jeans do not have pockets? According to the corporate overlords, it's because you're supposed to own a purse. When men pee, they hold their penis to aim. If you don't hold it, will it flop around like a fire hose? Only if it's really windy. Sadly no. Ladies, what do you prefer we call your lady bits? Vagina. PSSY. Clam. Angry beaver. Boobs. Breasts. Tits. Bags of sand? I ask my GF. And she doesn't like any of those answers. Edit. My partner calls it an axe wound. And every time he says it I've never felt drier. If you call my vagina an angry beaver, you better name it Daggett. Because Norbert was a stick in the mud. Edit. Wow, 2 golds on my cake day? This is just as good as my actual birthday. Thanks you guys. Edit 2. Thank you for my first 3 golds. The way men take their tops off. My boyfriend pulls it from the collar up and over his head. All of my female friends confirm this is how the men in their lives also do it. My female friends and I grab the bottom of our tops with left hand reaching the right side of the top and right hand reaching the left hand side of the top. Then pull up and the top is off. Sorry. I am terrible at explaining things. I can't decide who's doing it the best way. Most of the time my boyfriend's top is not inside out. Whereas mine often are. So maybe the way the men are doing it makes more sense. I'm guessing it's because 1. Women's tops will almost always be tighter fitting than men's, so it requires more force to remove the woman's top than a man's. 2. As a man, I don't like turning my shirts inside out and then back to inside in after it's washed. One less laundry step to complete. How is it that your public restrooms are always dirtier than men's? I work at a cafe and have to clean. But there's always seat covers and paper towels all over the floor. And in the sink. I'm not complaining too much. It's my job and all. But just how? On the sink? Damn, women are talented. 1. When my wife asks me what I want to eat. And no matter what I reply, she doesn't like it and complains I'm not helpful. 2. Or if I ask what she wants to eat. And her reply is, I don't know. What do you feel like? And I get the same result as the situation 1. It's like my wife is eternally confused on what she wants to eat. Why men refuse to go to the doctor, even when plagued by serious issues that cause pain and might be life-threatening. Just why? Go get it checked out. Be healthy. Have a yearly checkup. Because I don't want to spend $200 for a single doctor's visit to essentially be told it's something that will go away naturally. If it's something clearly dangerous or especially awful. Like last month, my throat was so painful and inflamed I could not speak or drink without crying. I will go to the doctor. But if it's a serious issue like the flu, I know how to handle the flu. The doctor will do nothing for me. If it gets worse, then we'll talk. Otherwise, I don't need to drop $200 with insurance to be told yeah, I said lol. This just happened yesterday. I saw a girl I've been friends with for a while on campus for the first time in like 5 months. We talked for a bit and she said we should get together sometime. I said sure and asked about Friday. She's busy then and had to go, so she told me to text her. I text her a half hour later asking about Saturday. She waits 20 hours to text me back and says she's busy then too. Give no time when she won't be busy. Why would a girl go out of her way to ask me to ask her out? Only to basically reject my asking her out? When my GF thinks something at me and swears she said it to me, it only proves my point that women share mental telepathy and men don't. We do. Have you never seen women just look at each other and start laughing? Telepathy. Ladies, how can it possibly make sense to have 50 pillows on the bed or sofa that need to be shoved out of the way to use the bed or sofa for its primary purpose? Why can't they just say they like you? Why do they gotta turn it into a big mystery case? I'm here wondering to myself if she likes me because she laughs at all my Thai jokes and texts me daily, or if it's just pity. I ask her and she says probably. It's thanks for the advice. IUHH asked her if she liked me romantically. Her new answer was it's a secret, so not much changed. When you ask a man sitting quietly what he's thinking about and he replies nothing. It's true. But how? How do you achieve this glorious vacuous empty place of nothing on your mind? Like there's a good chance I'm sitting quietly scrolling Instagram and you ask what's on my mind and I say nothing. But in reality I've spent 10 minutes thinking about that one time when I was 13 and went to speak and a mosquito flew into my mouth and I reflexively spat it out and it landed on my friend, and do they still remember? How can you think of nothing? It. Okay, cool. Nothing is something but you don't want to talk about it. I can vibe with that. That is nothing. It usually just means something so mundane it doesn't matter. Though there is that like 20% time where it is nothing. Whose penis opens up to accept the other man's penis? Why women are so obsessed with the dog filter selfie on Snapchat? Probably because it's cute and hides their noses. Grammage from work is so cute and we talk all the time. I really like spending time with him. Why hasn't he asked me out on a date? Damn it, girl. Ask Emmy out. Just because you're nice to me doesn't mean I'm going to know you're that kind of interested. I'm a stereotypical romantically dumb dude. Not to mention assuming a girl is interested when she's just being friendly can lead to really awkward moments. Ask me out. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Hey, wanna grab a beer on Thursday? Hell yeah, I do. Even if it doesn't go anywhere. Being asked out feels amazing. Confidence boost for days. This was a real situation. I worked at a bar. And apparently one of the new bartenders was really into me. She didn't say a thing. I thought she was just a really cool coworker. And I didn't find out until another bartender told me. One girl's I paid attention to him. Why doesn't he ask me out? Is another girl's OMG, why does he think I'm into him just because I was being nice? Men, am I right? Hopefully not the same girl thinking both. Why do girls like leggings? I know why I like them. Because they're comfy AF and casual without being as sloppy as sweatpants. How I can enter an argument with my wife knowing 100 and number 37. That I'm in the right yet leave apologizing and wondering how I could ever have been so wrong. Guys can be so mean when they prank their friends. And a lot of times, their friends are actually cool with it, find it hilarious. It baffles me. I would absolutely not have friends who'd like pants me in the middle of a crowded street. Or spray paint my car. Or toss me through the wall unexpectedly. Yeah, I'm crazy with that sometimes. Pants me in the middle of a crowded street. Men, or spray paint my car. Help me hide the bodies. Or toss me through the wall unexpectedly. Men. When a woman says I'm fine but she's really and clearly not fine. Why don't they tell us what's wrong so we can solve it? Also, is it just universal amongst women that fine is the exact word to use if you want to make sure your boyfriend knows it's not fine? With my wife, it means I'm upset. But I need some time to sort things out in my head and figure out if these emotions are the sign of a big issue we need to talk about. Or if it's just a transient reaction that will pass. And the best thing to help me figure that out is for you to stop asking me 100 questions and let me think. Your mileage may vary. But after I figure that out, I'll learn to give her space. And maybe 25% of the time it means we have a talk later. So, not passive aggressive. Not playing games. Just a lot easier to say I'm fine than a whole paragraph. My mother will randomly call me up for small talks. But I've never been a small talker, so I just answer her questions and don't really push the conversation forward. Then she feels rejected and gets upset with me. How can you just be thinking of nothing? That makes me so jealous. If all people would have a dick on their forehead. I bet everyone would wear caps the opposite way. With the cap window being in front. What are you thinking about? Asterisk. Oh. Either we're just blank. Or thinking of something so incomparably stupid that sharing it with you would just make you think us stupid. Women used to confuse me. Now in my 5th decade I have finally figured them out. As someone in their 4th decade. Women. Why do you think the silent treatment works? I'd rather have you tell me that you're Ed and why you're Ed. Dear men. Why can't I pay for dates? Some ladies enjoy going Dutch or spoiling cute boys. Why aren't you letting us? Because we are told that we have to do it and there is a stigma that it is wrong to let women pay for dates. I don't know how common this actually is. And of course I know it's not all men. But trying to get a girl to sleep with you. While at the same time thinking poorly of the girl if you find out she slept with a bunch of other guys. In my experience. The people who get the most head off at promiscuous women have no issue with women being promiscuous. Only with being promiscuous with people who aren't them. Why do women cry so much? Happy. Sad. And truth. We can't really control it. It just happens. How women's PP don't get hard. Why do they avoid jobs and hobbies with numbers or mechanical thinking like the plague? I understand individual women have the mental capacity to do this. I've worked with them in the past and those women are great. But as a sociological group, women are severely underrepresented in these fields. Isn't being a feminist meant to empower you to achieve your best and upset the establishment by taking on these roles? I know a good portion of it are stereotypes and jokes, but I legitimately don't get why people care about the length or any other attribute of their dicks to the point where they compare it or lie about it. I suppose it's not much more than any other body image issue, but it feels so much weirder because I only ever experience the opposite of it. Same reason girls wear push-up bras or compare breast sizes probably. For some guys it's a legitimate concern. Some have had bad experiences as a result of it. I don't have any issues. I'm perfectly happy with mine. But there is a body image issue propagated about bigger being better. Even if many people say it as a joke. So guys on the smaller side can often feel inadequate. And it's something that culturally people do laugh at. Jokes about Trump having a small dick are all over the place. With very few saying that we shouldn't be mocking people for a body image issue. Incels are taking over this thread. How can they like men? Miss me with that gay. Well, if you are attracted to a woman, she has half of her chromosomes from her father. So you are basically half gay. The Protestants and Catholics have treated women like crap forever. Yet it seems like in my family and most families I know the women are the ones to be into church and forcing everyone to go. JFC, a lot of these comments are unnecessary material. This whole thread is a mess of unnecessaries. Unnecessaries. Dude. You just described Reddit in one sentence. How men expect all the perks of being in a relationship without any commitment. How can women expect any commitment without the perks? Women. Please tell things to our face to get your point across. Men don't bite. It's nice not have to solve a puzzle. Long painted nails. I don't know a single person who think it's SI or makes women look better. Yet. For some reason. Every woman wants to wear those. Those are disgusting. Stop it. They like it. It's not meant to be attractive but to reflect things about their personality. You would be surprised, but not everything a woman does is to be attractive to men. Both have to do with specific types of guys. 2 things. 1. Unsolicited dick pics. 2. The annoying relentless pursuit of girls who are clearly not interested. Including gay women. As a gay woman, as soon as I figure out the woman I'm hitting on isn't interested or straight etc. I back off. The way I see it, I want someone who is into me just as much as I'm into them. Bobby pins and hairbands. Why do you leave them everywhere? I found one in the fridge one time. How? Why do women go through hoops to impress other women? The nails, heels and the hair. I've never seen a guy go, wow, look at that girl, she must have spent 3 hours at the nail salon getting those done. I don't think I've ever gotten my nails done with a random person in mind that I'm trying to impress. I like the way my nails look when done, so I get them done. Women. When I show little to no signs of interest in you, you like me. When I open up and show signs of interest, you don't care about me. This is not just about one woman. Women who wear yoga pants. You must know every guy who passes staring at your ass, right? You do notice it, right? I don't have a great ass, so people check and then get bored. And then I can resume my comfy happy existence. When men sit down to poop, is it mandatory to leave a certain amount of a shares on the seat? Are all of your asses that hairy? Edit. So the general consensus is that yes. Most men have unfortunately hairy butts. I'm really sorry guys. That must suck. Also, I am absolutely loving the way you all describe your hair butts. Yes. Edit. Saying that. A decent guy will tidy up after themselves. Women terrify me. They come out at night. They root through my garbage cans. They have those weird masks on their faces and those funny little hands. Some people find them cute, but they give me the creeps. Why do women fake compliment each other all the time? Clearly you don't actually like Brittany, but you're still commenting, wow you look great babe. Comma. That's just some next level passive aggressive bull right there. Also, how hard is it to just pick an outfit honestly? And lastly, why do some of you complain about having to wear makeup and how much time it takes? Clearly if you're that annoyed, when they stop everyone tells them they look sick. Girlfriend getting home late from a long day at work. Ugh. Sorry love. I just need to eat something and relax tonight. May need to take a night off SX. Totally understand. Want to watch The Office and relax on the couch? Asterisk. Me getting home late from a long day at work. Ugh. Sorry love. I just need to eat something and relax tonight. May need to take a night off SX. Is something wrong? Are you still attracted to Emmy? Do you want Emmy to try an L again? What's wrong? Are you satisfied? How can she slap? Women complain about the seat being up, but God forbid I ever bring up the blood on the seat or tampon left somewhere because that's gross and embarrassing. KKK off. It happens to everyone. I'm not mentioning it to be gross or embarrassing. I just don't like cleaning dried blood. Why is my girlfriend's penis so small? So strange. Women demanding that the toilet seat be put back down, while they can leave the rest of the bathroom looking like Hiroshima and Nagasaki immediately after the bombs were dropped. Random boners. The idea of suddenly getting aroused at awkward times seems terrifying. How do you live with that? Can you feel it's coming? Does it go from 0-100 in a second, or is it like filling a balloon? Half the population has to live with that. I don't see it as a huge inconvenience, no pun intended. It's gradual. Funny thing is that the first maybe 20% just happens by itself. But once you start feeling it, you can't ignore it and your mind focuses on it. That causes it to react even quicker and spewing it. Massive overgeneralizations on both genders. I mean, how on earth is it that while I am showering, do I find a piece of her hair stuck between my ass crack? Like seriously. How did her hair get inside my butt crack for me to discover it as I was washing myself? PS. Now I understand what people mean when they say goodbye inbox. Lol. PPS. For all those saying it's about laundry. Sometimes she goes away to Brazil and I find it there 5-10 days later. While only washing my clothes. I mean, it's just hiding somewhere. This whole thread is just ranting about stereotypes that are reinforced by confirmation bias. Wearing skimpy clothing and then acting annoyed if we were caught looking at you. Like what the do ya expect, sheesh. Because it's not you that are supposed to look. There's a line, my dude. I was wearing a dress that showed a bit of cleavage and some guy 30 years older than me started talking to me. He looked at my necklace and complimented it before saying, I'm not trying to look at your tits. But they are out there if you know what I mean, and then continued to make comments like that. Why do guys think that's okay? Women just confuse me. I mean, are they people? Reptiles? How could you assume something like that? When men don't reply to your texts and clearly don't particularly want to see you again but will watch every Snap IG story you post until the end of time. I do it because I don't like having the notification. Why they always want to have babies? Do they not know they eventually turn into annoying rebellious teenagers? And before that, they're screaming babies with constant filled diapers. Do men legitimately think women enjoy being catcalled? Men who catcall don't legitimately think. Yes. Actually, there was an article written about it. I forgot the name. But a woman who got catcalled a lot went up to the catcallers and asked them why they did it. The most prevalent answer was that they thought it was flattering. Also, chances are these men grew up in a hostile household and never learned what respect, of any kind, was. I would never in a million years catcall. That's because I was raised with those values. How some guys can make friends so easily. Case study. While attending uni, I witnessed the following. The first day of class, one guy was sitting a row ahead of me wearing a sports team's hat. Another guy walks in, also wearing the same sports team's hat. Notices the first guy and enthusiastically addresses him sports team. The first guy looks up and responds sports team. They then introduced themselves to each other and proceeded to become close friends. I would see them occasionally around campus hanging out. This isn't the only instance of fast friends I've perceived. But I find that guys seem to become friends much faster than girls. Maybe that's just from my perspective. Though, I will say that drunk girls in the bathroom are often the nicest people you will ever meet. But that I've never seen a friendship blossom out of those interactions. This is vintage behavior from my fiance that I will never understand. She comes to me with a problem about work or one of her friends. I listen and provide a solution. She then rejects the solution and complains I'm not listening, even though I've just listened to her problem enough to find a solution. Women don't usually want solutions, or at least not right away. They want to work through the feelings involved by talking and being listened to. Solutions to the actual problems can come later. Why is it girls are embarrassed when a guy looks at them naked after getting them undressed? You know we undressed you and have been waiting for that sight forever, yeah? It's like staring straight into the eyes of God for us. Girls can be very insecure. Most have some kind of body image issues.